All right, welcome back. It is Free Therapy Wednesday, and if there's a good chance you could really use a little mental health boost this week.
Yeah, here to help us through navigating the minefield of politics, regardless of what side you're on, you have to interact with other people, and the election aftermath is, it's here now. So our friend, child psychologist, she's also just a psychologist. She helps adults too, but
do you help adults? I
do help some adults.
Oh,
yeah.
really?
Yeah.
You can help me.
She can do both. She's got degrees both, but I think it's the adults who need the help. I don't know if the children are paying attention, but Dr. Laura Saunders is here. So this was a big night, and regardless of what side you're on, I mean, people have been really feeling like they were through the ringer with this election cycle, and now I don't know if people are stressed out or they don't know how to talk to their neighbor again.
Yeah, I mean, the American Psychological Association did a poll and found that 69% of Americans are feeling higher levels of stress because of the divisiveness of this election. And that's across affiliations, right? That's not any one affiliation. We need to dial back the rhetoric. It is what it is right now. We need to find some positives, dial back the rhetoric. I worry about the kids because the parents that say, you know, we're going to leave the country when they're really not going to do that.
Right.
But those kind of statements are very scary for the kids.
That is scary for the kids.
So that's one of the things you say for the kids is don't make those divisive comments like if so-and-so wins, we're leaving the country. So especially now that we know the results, they're not certified yet, but certainly Donald Trump being the projected winner. If you were one of those families saying, well, if he wins, we have to leave, or if he wins, our life is over, then what do you say now?
Right. And statements like, you know, democracy's over now. I mean, it's what we also call black and white thinking, right? We need to move away from the black and white thinking. We need to try to find some positives. We need to sort of grieve if that's what you're doing, or rejoice if that's how you feel, and then find ways to step forward and move on. But don't create a lot of, you know, kind of frightening statements in your home, because your children who have zero control over their lives will really get worked up and anxious, and they will have no way to review it.
What do you mean by the next is setting boundaries ahead of time? What does that mean?
Thanksgiving's coming, and there's usually people on both sides of the table.
Right. So you're the host, and you're saying, you know what, we are not doing politically divisive comments here. We're going to talk about our lives. We're going to talk about what's important to us. We're going to talk about our hopes and dreams. We are not doing politically divisive comments. We're not talking about politics at the holidays. So you can set limits. And
those are conversations that need to happen way beforehand.
Yes, and they definitely do. But sometimes even the day of.
A little reminder.
You know, there's an event and you're saying, I'm not talking politics in this setting. It's too much for me.
Can you also say to other people, I don't want anyone else talking politics?
Well, yeah.
If you're the host.
you'd like to set that boundary, right? I want a drama-free environment. That's how you would set that up. Let's have no drama here. You can't control side conversations. The other thing to really keep in mind is, do you value the relationship, or do you value getting your point across and being right? So if you value the relationship, sometimes it means putting things aside and letting things go.
Like that saying, they say it's better to be kind than right.
Exactly.
No, that's a very good point, you know, because there are going to be people out there who are just going to be, you know, stand tall and just want to talk about it. And then, you know, you just have to be kind and just say, okay, well, I understand your point of view. I have my point of view, and we're just going to move forward.
Right. That's valuing the relationship.
So the way you would navigate that, if you're feeling like the next couple of days someone's coming up to the water cooler, or maybe you even have people on opposite sides of the spectrum within the home, and they're really coming at you like, how could you have, or don't you see what happened, or any of that, what's the best response in order to set a peaceful boundary?
Right. So you can say, I don't wish to discuss this. We can agree to disagree. I have a different perspective on this. I care about different issues than you. Right. You can set a limit without saying, you know, I agree with everything that you're saying, but you set that limit by saying, you know, it's not the time for me to discuss this. I'm just not up for this conversation. I agree, you know, I agree with some points, but I disagree with others. Right? You can state what your position is or how you're feeling without creating a lot of extra drama.
Is that what we call planning for drama? Is it?
Yeah, I mean, because if you don't plan, and we all know these people. We all know the people that we're going to have these interactions with, and you can either A, avoid them, but how long does that last, especially in work environments or in home environments, or you can have a plan for how you will address any comments. I'm choosing not to speak about this. I'm not engaging in this conversation. We agree to disagree. I always have some set statements that I use in situations.
Like, know what you're going to say ahead of time.
And then I pull them out.
I have never brought up politics at any of my functions, at any of my gatherings, my family thing. I just leave them on the table, leave them at the door, and I hope that everybody else does the same thing.
The
Right.
turkey's really good.
Exactly. A nice, distracting, deflective comment.
You know, it's weird. You'd like to have a conversation, but sometimes it just gets out of hand, and then before you know it, you can't.
Right. And we are in very divisive times. And so that's what worries me. If we engage in these conversations and we're in such divisive times, and we're not going to change people's minds who are on the opposite end of the spectrum.
Right.
We're not going to change their minds. So you're engaging in a battle that will only serve to make you feel upset or angry or more worked up. It's not going to solve anything.
Karen,
so don't engage in it.
Say it again. Be calm. What was it?
I didn't make that saying
No,
up, but the
but say it
saying that
again.
it's better to be kind than right.
Okay.
I often say that to my kids.
Thank you, Dr. Laura
Hope they
Saunders.
listen.
We so appreciate your time.
Thank
and
you.
thank you for coming in.
Yeah, thank you for being here.